Hi, my name is Vivian Frieson, and I just wanted to say hello and update you guys a little bit. I know that most of you have probably seen some of my posts or videos on Facebook or on some other social media sites um, trying to raise money for Haiti. Just recently got back, and I wanted to give you guys an update. But before I do that, I wanted to say thank you so much to anyone who contributed in any way to help with this, whether it was money, whether it was goods, or even if you just shared the GoFundMe. The GoFundMe itself got over 200 shares, and that exceeded expectations, honestly. Um, I was not expecting that at all. We also ended up raising over $2,000, and it's so amazing how you guys have rallied around me, and I really appreciate that. And I know the people that we've helped appreciate it immensely. Now that we've got our thank yous out of the way, let's talk a little bit about Haiti. On my first day, we spent the whole entire day getting supplies and putting them together. Throughout the day, we went and picked up all kinds of things. Um, but the biggest things that we got were bags of rice, really big bags of beans, cases of oil, and also spaghetti. And then what we did is we took those and put them in the big Ziploc bags so that those could be divvied out in between families. And we ended up making a total of 96 bags, and um, those were meant per household. So we were able to support 96 households on this trip on day two, and we headed straight out to Cavaillon. So the reason that we decided to go to Cavaillon first is because my house host, Thomas and Rose Larry, they have someone who works there, and his name is Junior. He goes home monthly to visit his family, and he just so happened to be home at the time that the hurricane hit. It's very scary to hear him retell it, and for him to have to experience that, um, I know was probably devastating. Besides what it did to these people's homes, just imagine what it's doing to their psyches as well. So we decided to go to Cavaillon where his family was. He told us that his family and many others had lost everything. And when we got there, there were a lot of homes that were gone, just completely gone. And there were two to three to four families in some homes. And we're not talking very large homes either. Um, I don't think that we ran into his family specifically, but we did run into a lot of families, and they were very open to sharing their stories. A lot of them had put stuff high on the rafters of their homes to try and keep them from getting wet. And for some people, water was above head level. For others, they had to get on their roofs because the water levels were so high, there was nowhere to get away from it. On that first day, we ended up going to Cavaillon, which is in Kai. In Kai, we went to Bourjuli, um, and this was a place that was also greatly affected, and they had received no aid at all. And it's just unfortunate to hear that the government, the UN, the Red Cross, and all the other places that are there aren't doing more. 2 to 3 weeks into this tragedy, and there are places that have been untouched, just completely untouched. And with all the resources that are being sent there and all the help that is there, I feel like more can be being done. But that's the whole purpose of us being there. You guys being there through me and me stepping foot into Haiti in the first place. In Borjuli, we met a pastor named Marie, um, and she showed us around a little bit. This is a local Haitian, so again, everything had to be translated for me. Um, but she was very nice. She showed us her church. She had over 100 people there trying to get shelter down on the bottom of the church. They have about 2.5 walls and some supports, but there's not much there. And again, you have families who lost their homes living in the bottom of this church that, where they don't even really have full shelter. Um, we donated with a lot of these packs, feminine products, but in Haiti, if you're not in the main city, you're not really using tampons. So this was one of the only places where I was able to gather a crowd of girls and be able to teach them about how to use tampons and safety using them. And they were very receptive, and I think it was good to be able to give them another option, um, and to be able to give them more because they were able to use them properly. But I think in future trips we'll only be taking pads there because it's just more commonly used. After that, we did hit a couple other villages. A lot of the names aren't known. On day 3, we left the hotel and went to find a hospital. We ended up giving all of our medical to the hospital medical team. We just thought it would be the best bet because without us being able to know people's afflictions, we don't want to just give them pills with English on them and they end up using them for the wrong reasons or overusing them, and that causes a whole flurry of other issues, and we don't want to create more problems. We want to solve them. So getting back, realizing that the roads weren't so great coming in, we ended up taking a little bit longer of a trip. We were stopped by a checkpoint. I think in our trip we ended up hitting 5 or 6, and the officers were okay. You just never know what's going to happen when you hit them. They can ask you for your registration, your license, and once they see it's good, you're on your way, or they can ask you for your registration and license and threaten to keep it unless you give them money. So unfortunately, we did hit a few that wanted money. And when it comes to infrastructure, you can do whatever you want on the roads. There's speed limits some places, but they're not really enforced. People drive all over the place. People walk all over the place. It's not really something that I can describe. You just have to see it. It's bonkers. Um, there was garbage everywhere, no matter where we went. But it just kind of gives you an idea. Port-au-Prince is one of their biggest cities, and a lot of people fly in from there. And as far as tourism goes, that's probably where you would go, besides Jeremy. Um, and there was in downtown Port-au-Prince, there was huge piles of garbage with dead animals, and you can just smell, the standing water, the trash, the food, the rotting animals, and it's disgusting to say the least. But they don't have the garbage trucks, and the services like we do, where somebody comes and picks up once a week. Um, so in some places in villages, you see them burning their garbage because they don't know when it's going to be picked up, and they're doing the best they can to keep their areas clean. And regardless of how bad it is there, or how bad I have made it seem or sound, I think it's important that we remember that these are very strong, very hardworking, very resilient people. They've been working on getting their own homes back, and they're going right back to work fixing their farms. They're doing the best that they can. They're doing the absolute best that they can, and they are not expecting any handouts from us. We have to help these people because they have spent so much time without any help. And we can't continue to just let them stand on their own. We cannot. We have to reach across the water and help these people. With that being said, I am going to continue leaving the GoFundMe open for one more week. I do want to continue sending packages, most specifically to the community in Borjuli. They definitely needed it, and they hadn't had any help at all. The only aid that was available to them was at the police station, and without vehicles, it's very hard to get to. And when you do get there, women don't go, only men, because they end up fighting for it, and people end up with more aid than is meant for them because they take it away from others. I'm also planning on starting a Mm, I want to call it a fund a family type thing. And this was an amazing idea that was brought up to me by a friend. And what she is going to do, she's actually going to start this off, but every month she is going to send a package, and this package is actually going to go to Junior, and every month Junior is going to take that to his family. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to get a list of ideal things to ship, and I really want to work to make that something that we can do to support multiple families monthly. And know that we're actually giving them things that they need. So if that's something that you're interested in, please feel free to follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, or to email me, send me a message, reach out, please, because the more families that we can help, the better. And this is our chance to reach out and effectively help people in a way that we know what we're doing and where our money and where our goods are going. And I think that's the most important thing of all of it, in all of this, to take away especially. And lastly, I just want to say thank you one more time for watching this video. I know it's a little bit long-winded, thank you again for being a part of this journey and for continuing to be a part of this journey. I hope, fingers crossed. Thank you for helping, not me, but the people who are in need. They were so grateful. The gratitude I felt was amazing. There were tears of joy, and you guys did that. You guys have empowered them in a way that you can't even begin to imagine, just by being willing to donate $5, $10, $100, however much you donated, it mattered. So with that being said, please make sure that you stay in touch. Message me if you have any questions at all, and always remember that there is power in your purpose.